We should. I should note right up top. I think it's using your camera or computer mic because you don't sound quite as crisp as usual.
That is terrible. Hang on a second.
It's all right. We're getting a clean slate now. Podcast mic. Hey, podcast mic. Here we go. Yes.
You want to see them?
Okay, so guys, here's how this usually works. At the beginning of every episode, the studio, which is normally an iPhone shortcut that we made, that's very elaborate and it references an Airtable of prompts that we've created. But today, you are the studio, and you're going to assign us, the contestants, a new project consisting of 4 components. This is a story that we're going to have to write in the time of this breakout. So, what's usually submitted to us and assigned to us is a project consisting of 4 components: the genre, the tone, the demographic, target audience, and a studio mandate. So, here's what we need from you guys. Go to the polls section of your sidebar, and you should see any second now. Boom. Genre. Please go to the polls section and submit and vote for the genre of your choice that you would like to see us do today.
Some good genres on there, Seth.
Yeah. And I just realized, I don't know how we're going to see the results. Maybe we should vote, too.
Essentials. I'll vote.
I'll vote. I voted. Now I'm seeing the results.
Ooh, a lot of comedy.
A lot of comedy. You guys wanting some laughs today? Well, sorry, this is a serious podcast. We take things very seriously.
Only dramas on this podcast. Comedy. It looks like comedy's probably going to win. I guess we wait for just a little bit. See who else we get. But
do we count down?
No, we need a timer for this.
I don't even know where the polls are.
It's looking like it's going to be comedy. So.
Where do I find the polls?
I'm used to having to write things that
we just have to spin it. We can subgenre, little genre mash to make sure it's fun.
Oh, the way you and I would normally do it as filmmakers.
Yeah, it's great. It works great.
156 people are watching them.
On it, though. Let's see.
Oh, they are.
Where are the polls?
So I tell you what, let's make a few more things visible. We also need a tone. So now you should be able to vote in the polls on a tone.
I don't even see the polls.
Random selections. And why does this seem random? Well, it's because these are some of the tones that we haven't covered yet on our podcast.
Event, breakout.
You get to feature. By the way, this will be a released podcast in our feed, so you guys are making podcast history today here. We're going to go down into the history books.
Where are the polls?
Who voted. Where were you on September 24th, 2021, when the Writers' Room Game Show tried its first live
there are the polls.
Show?
Let me try.
Our children and our children's children will be asking
polls.
themselves.
Genre, drama, comedy,
Dark
romance, sci-fi, horror.
A dark and gritty comedy.
Comedy.
Love it.
Ryan, how are you doing, by the way, while these people vote?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be on live. I know you're a story veteran.
I'm going to open up another poll for demographic. We need you guys to vote
Kids,
for
teens, young adults, adults, or seniors. Let's
put
young adults.
What age is young adult? A dark and gritty comedy is going to be for. Well, I don't know. Bombastic is making it. is coming up. So, seniors. There are people voting for those seniors. So
we had a feeling you guys would go for seniors and kids the most, but it looked like seniors.
They're our most vulnerable.
Overwhelming majority. Nothing we haven't done before.
Nothing we haven't done. So, Ryan, I want to ask you. I had a question for you, and I don't remember what it was. It was going to be a good. Oh, Ryan, this is a podcast. We should run this like a podcast would run. So we need to actually do our opening sponsor ads, right?
Yes, we definitely should.
All right. So who's sponsoring today's episode of the Writers' Room Game Show?
Purple Match. I'm just kidding. I think it should be Plot Devices. Don't you think?
You're right. It should be my company. So, guys, today's episode.
It's only natural for us to
have the Writers' Room Game Show
product near us, like this shotless notepad from.
It's brought to you by Plot Devices, creators of the Story Clock Notebook, the Storyboard Notebook, the Shotless Notepad, Story Clock Workbook, Storyboard Workbook, and a cool hat that says Plot Devices I don't have on hand, a cool shirt that has a story clock on it, and a shirt that has a cat and it says Action, It's the Law, the shirt that you specifically wanted your entire life and asked for, we made available at Plot Devices. Plot Devices, as you might know, is my company. I make some of the money that you spend at it. So please spend as much money, please spend freely at Plot Devices. But we make really cool tools for writers and directors and story people in general. You don't have to be a filmmaker to enjoy our products. Please go check out plotdevices.co. Ryan Polly has written several Story Clock research logs on the blog that are very cool. Check it out.
Yeah, and our podcast is actually brought to you as well, a production company called Weekend Video. We're the funnest production company this side of Friday. Make a lot of fun commercials.
I need a commercial made, Ryan. I need a commercial made right now. I need it to be really fun. Who should I call?
Go to weekend.video. We'll make you a commercial. Let's do it.
Thank God.
But you know what, Seth? In addition to our genre, tone, and demographic, there's also one more element.
That's right.
Studio mandate.
Brian, what is this? What? Wait, sorry, let's return to our script. We have a script for our opening. The rest of it is completely unscripted. So if our scripted part is going this horribly, can you imagine how the rest of it might go? A studio mandate. What's a studio mandate, you ask, Ryan? Well, let me tell you. A studio mandate is basically any random thing the studio is requiring of us. So it can be pretty much anything, and we will have to abide by it. Ryan, what are some examples of a studio mandate?
Well, maybe they want a giant spider to appear in the third act of our movie, regardless of whether it's, appropriate or not. Or maybe Shrek will be the protagonist, the animated Mike Myers character. Or maybe our film needs to be rated G, even though it's a dark and gritty comedy.
Those are great examples. Maybe the cast must be comprised entirely of inanimate objects. The thing is, it's entirely up to the studio to assign us this weird, arbitrary requirement, and we will have to abide by it. And guess what, studio, which is you guys, you get to go into the chat right now and submit your ideas for studio mandates. Go in there right now. Just type them in. Anything. A studio mandate can be anything that you are going to require of us to abide by, and we will randomly pick the one that we think is the funniest and easiest. I'm seeing some funny ones starring Clint Eastwood. Okay, Cats, just Cats in general. It needs to be Cats the musical, or needs to star Cats. Elmo being painted blue.
You are a banana and a potato. That is the studio mandate. That's a great one.
Let's go cast. Wow! This is great.
This is coming fast. We're getting a lot of. We're giving it a few minutes, and I think I got a text message. The studio should be calling here in the next minute or so.
Okay. Studio's going to call with all of these assignments. So, everyone is naked. Well, that's one. That's one for the books.
Perry the Platypus. I support that mandate.
It's Perry the Platypus. Protagonist needs to die at the end.
Our dark and gritty comedy that's starring Perry the Platypus.
So I love that you know Perry the Platypus, Ryan. Is that
I'm a big fan. Seth, as you know, I'm a young man, 29 years old, and I think when Phineas and Ferb came out, I was too old for it, but I enjoyed it anyways.
Okay. Because I was going to say, my son was really into Phineas and Ferb as a kid, so it was going to be really weird out if you were too. So, if that was
a writer, you got to support great writing. And that's like,
it's so good.
And for an animated show, that's cream of the crop.
I love it.
Okay, so I think that's the studio calling.
That is weird.
So what normally happens is they call Ryan. Normally.
Hey, studio, how's it going?
Normally, this is a podcast, by the way. They call
We're here on the story gathering. It's live, the better event. Yeah. Oh, and you want us to make a movie in 30 minutes? Great. Okay, yeah, we'll get it done. Thanks. Bye. They said the assignment would be listed on the polls and chat section of the story gathering event.
Oh, wow. Normally, they just email me. They call you to tell you to email me.
They told me to check the polls.
So it looks like tonight we're going to be writing a comedy. that is dark and gritty, and it needs to be targeted towards seniors. And studio mandate, I'm having trouble reading. Ryan, can you read out our studio mandate?
Yeah, just give me about a minute to look through the hundreds and hundreds of studio mandates. Usually these are randomly generated, so picking one feels very daunting.
No, don't pick one. Just grab the first one you see.
Okay, I'm scrolling. Here we go. That was just
everyone's naked.
That was just a comment.
It was just a comment. It's a troubleshooting question.
Everyone wears glasses. I feel like that's not integral. It's not big enough to. Sorry. There's so many good ones here.
I know.
There's so many good ones. This one says cameo from Meryl Streep, but we actually already did that in our podcast.
And Meryl Streep played a motion capture monster
alien. Definitely have to check out that episode if you haven't, guys.
It's called What's With Cat.
The main protagonist is a painter who can't see colors. That's from Tanya Monroy. Let's go with that.
This is the most eccentric movie we've been assigned ever. A painter who can't see colors.
Dark and gritty.
Has the timer started, by the way?
The timer is...
Don't start it. Don't start it. Renee, can you edit this out? Thank you, Renee, from this live show. I forgot to say that at the end of this episode, we're going to focus group the idea with someone from the audience. We're going to bring one of you up on stage, and we're going to have you answer actual dumb focus group questions. Like, would you see this movie, and would you recommend this movie to a friend? And if you answer positively, we win. We're rich filmmakers and super famous.
Or would you take your grandpa or grandma to see this movie as a senior?
If there are any seniors in the audience, by the way, we will absolutely be. You'll be the one that we focus group this with. So,
absolutely.
Or if you're a senior, I don't know if that's legal for me to ask you to do that.
I'm gonna mute you for a minute till I go find some coffee and some Coca-Cola. Hold on.
Yeah, I think we're.
Whoever it's for, we just want to make sure that they're going to enjoy it. So we just think of, seniors, maybe seniors like going to the movie theater. They like, seeing every matinee that comes every week, comes out. I think we just make it sort of accessible to old and young alike. And dark and gritty, I don't think that needs to be, rated R. I think it's just maybe this our protagonist, this painter who can't see colors, maybe he's painting. Maybe we have a Pleasantville kind of dark and gritty, black and white, and we incorporate the color into the story of the picture. Who knows?
Okay, so we integrate the color into the story. So it's a black and white film. That's actually fun. So it's from his perspective. So it's kind of like a film noir about.
That's good. We can play up this sort of film noir, the first person narration, maybe.
Yes, it's black and white, but it's present day. But it's told as a film noir about a painter, and it's black and white because he can't see colors, but he still keeps getting hired. He keeps getting Have you ever seen Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid?
I have not. We mentioned it.
We did. It's a Steve Martin film. It's a detective, like a hard-boiled detective comedy starring Steve Martin that's in black and white. And it's fantastic, and that's what I'm thinking of. I also think of the Frank Burley novels by John Swartzwelder, which are my favorite, as you know, one of my favorite book series that I tried to adapt at one point and couldn't.
Yeah, but remember, you haven't seen movies. I haven't read books.
That's right. Well, these books are wonderful and hilarious. I like the idea of telling, like, our kind of stupid comedy, like the idea of. I'm trying to think of a good comparison here. But it's a comedy, so it doesn't matter. Like, so we're telling it in the style of like a film noir, but it's present day, and this painter who can't see colors. I like the idea he keeps getting hired, and people are never happy with his work. Just like a detective who, keeps getting hired and never gets paid. He's known he sucks at his job consistently, and yet he's got this one last job, or not one last job, but this one job that's been presented to him, and no one will hire him. He has the worst reputation because he's a drunk and a whatever. But this one, he's not a drunk. He's just colorblind. Hey, Polly, is there anyone here who can speak on behalf of the colorblind?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, the colorblind filmmaker Ryan Polly. I'm not alone. There's lots of us. Nicholas Winding Refn is a very popular colorblind director.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why all of his movies are so vibrant and colorful. It's because
he has no idea.
The more vibrant they make it, he can actually tell the differences between the colors.
Is that right? Because I feel like all of your work is very vibrant and colorful.
I try to make it that way. The last short I made, Pizza Time, had a red jacket as part of it, and I was like, I feel like it needs to be redder. And my DP Daniel was like, dude, it is red. Like, that is really red. I'm like, really? I feel like it could be more saturated. No, but yeah, I love the idea of him just the painting. He keeps on getting hired, and it's terrible. It's just like it's.
Wait! He's a painter. Hang on, I just saw something. I'm so sorry. No, you finish. I'll ask my question.
I imagine him as like a muralist. I don't know if you were thinking that too.
I immediately saw like painting a wall or a house. Is what I saw.
Yeah, big, like not just like painting.
I didn't see him as an artist. I saw him as like, hey, will you paint my house blue? And then he paints it green, or he paints it gray. That's not how colorblind works, but
whatever. Colorblind isn't actually that fun. It's like more just like the your perception of the colors is off, and it's like whatever. If it's completely like he can only see black and white, I think that's what makes it funny.
That's what we go for, I think. Yeah. And we should actually talk about that in the story. And somehow, like when he says he's colorblind, he's like actual like hardcore colorblind. And like most people who are colorblind can at least see certain of the colors, and you mix up colors. I forget all the names for the different kinds of colorblindness.
And he's wearing this fedora, looking out, the blinds of this window, and we hear his voiceover about how he's painted this house.
So should he have a fedora, or I saw it more as he's staring like.
Like modern day. Like if
the Coen brothers made this, like you commit to the setting, but you just tell it in the style and aesthetic. So do we want him to be a painter, like a utility, like wall painter, or like an artist mural painter?
I think your idea, wall painter, kind of just like houses. And
you were looking somewhere specific this entire time. I'm very curious what you're doing.
I was getting no worries.
Okay.
It's a surprise. I wanted to make sure we had our roadblock for later in the show.
Okay, great.
But yeah, I like that. Okay, so we have. He does. Loved it. Clint Eastwood was recommended a few times in the chat, so I think we lean into that.
I mean, I'm not going to call my parents seniors, but I am going to say that if Clint Eastwood was in this, my parents would be all in and seeing it on opening weekend.
Cry mantra.
All right, the chat thinks Clint Eastwood's a good option. But, well, part of the chat. Someone in the chat hates Eastwood. So, are you a senior? If not, that's great. Like, we're not looking for the youngs. We're looking for...
But, yeah. Yeah, I like Clint... Wait, are you suggesting Clint Eastwood is our protagonist, though? 91-year-old Clint Eastwood is a painter?
Yeah.
It's to go. Okay, why not? Let's do it.
Like, well,
so he's...
I
like Tom Hanks because I feel like because even Tom Hanks is getting to retirement age,
yeah.
and a regular